Hello again, my cosmic dragon friends. We are back with another pick a card reading, and today we have something a little bit different. I have fossil readings for you. So I have four, these are actual fossils, not pretend ones, they're a little bit dusty, for you to choose from here with their corresponding cards. Now, for those of you who don't know, I live on the Jurassic Coast, which is a part of the UK where there are a lot of fossils. And yes, it's coastline. It's mostly limestone rock, so our coast is very, very white in colour. We've got very bright white cliffs, which are very famous. And so recently I bought myself a pack of fossil playing cards when I was down at Durlston Castle, which is right on the Jurassic Coast. And I also bought a pack of various fossils, and I thought it would be really fun to go really, really, really far into ancestry and ask for messages from some very ancient beings. So here we are. Sometimes we ask our ancestors for messages, don't we? Well, we're going really far back to some very ancient ancestors here. So we've got 4 piles to choose from. Pile 1, we have Fossilised Coral. Well, you can see that. Just about make it out here. Which is sat on the Queen of Hearts. We have a little Fossilised Ammonite here. There we go. Which is sat on the Jack of Diamonds. We have a Shark's Tooth on, very appropriately, the Ace of Spades. I don't know who decided that was going to be the card, but I think it's very apt. And we have a little Bivalve Mollusc here on the Jack of Hearts. So take a moment, see which message you're drawn to, or messages, because you can be drawn to more than one. Maybe you're drawn to all of them. Maybe there's a message for you in every single pile today. Timestamps are in the description below, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your fossil reading. So your fossil is this little piece of fossilised coral here. Of course, it doesn't have any colour. There's none left. Isn't it cute? I always think coral's very, very pretty, and it's always very sought after as well. So it makes sense to me that it would fall on the energy of the Queen of Hearts here. Maybe you're someone who's very sought after in a romantic capacity, or maybe in a business capacity, but there's something very special about you, pile 1. There's something quite unique that can only be found in certain people. I think you're quite an original and special person. And when people find you, they feel themselves very, very lucky to do so, because you're quite unique. You are not run-of-the-mill. You are one of those 1 in a million people that people don't get to meet very often. So that's a really lovely message to start with. So the Queen of Hearts is a very feminine energy. Also, I have in my mind, was it the Queen of Hearts made some tarts all on a summer's day? So always makes me think of strawberry tarts when I see, which I love, the little ones that you get in the packets. You know, you get like packs of little fruit jam tarts. I love strawberry jam tarts, my favourite. So if you happen to be baking strawberry tarts, obviously that's good confirmation that this is your reading. If not, then, you know, carry on. It still could be your reading. But yes, there's something very special about coral, isn't there? It's quite fragile as well. It needs a specific ecosystem to live in. So I think you could be somebody who is not fragile, but you need specific conditions to thrive. You are sensitive. You are quite special. You may even have some health conditions, you know, that make it difficult for you to live in certain climates or under certain conditions. That could be a message for somebody there as well, a bit of confirmation that this is your reading. But there's certainly something special around here. And the Queen of Hearts, it talks about love, talks about marriage, can also talk about fantasy, can talk about dreams and that which we would like to achieve. It's a very beautiful, dreamy, feminine energy when we have the Queen of Hearts. Very, very lovely energy to be in. So this is a good reading to pick. I commend you. So as this is, all of our fossils are actually sea animals, or from sea animals. So I have actually chosen the Mermaid and Dolphins Oracle deck to work with for you today. Let's pop our Queen of Hearts up here, see what messages we have for you from our fossil ancestors, I guess. Okay. check if I need any sensor shells on these. Stay optimistic. Make a wish. Oh, she's already wearing her own shell bra, so that's a bonus. Rest. And contemplation time. Okay. I'm going to bring in one more. Divine Magic. Yes, I love to see that one. That's a very magical card to show up. Divine Magic is great. And coming in next to Make a Wish as well. This is very, very positive. Okay. So what I'm getting from these cards for you, Pile 1. So it may be a time where, particularly with contemplation time, where you are reassessing your life, thinking about what you're going to do, where you're going to live, what your life's going to look like. Maybe you have more questions than answers about your life right now, about what your lifestyle is going to be, how everything's going to work, how you're going to make money. You know, there are lots of questions here. Could be connected to children as well, because we have this little baby mermaid here as well, don't we? Many, many questions. And I do love the Stay Optimistic card, because we have this mermaid here and she's looking at the castle, which seems so far away. And she can't walk. She doesn't have legs. She has a tail. But there is this man in the distance, and perhaps he could help her. Perhaps he can help her to find solutions. Perhaps he can communicate or be a go-between for her between the castle. There's also a little bird on the rock here, so it feels like communication is quite important. Maybe you've been trying to communicate with somebody. This could be a colleague, a family member, or someone you're in a romantic relationship with or would like to be. It feels like it feels almost like you're coming from different worlds, though. Like it would be tricky or difficult, and you may be trying to work out how to make that work. And maybe you've been feeling a little bit demoralized because you just can't see how things are going to work in your life. You can't see how to make everything come together as you would like it to be. Perhaps you're feeling a bit like a fish out of water. And certainly it is time to be thinking about that right now, meditating on that, and letting the answers come to you, because they will come to you. Certainly with the Stay Optimistic card, they're saying, no, don't think that you've been ruled out. Don't think that you can't achieve what you want to. Just spend some quiet time with your guides, spend some quiet time with yourself, and let the answers come to you. And there is a strong message of resting here with the Rest card. Maybe you genuinely need to rest, otherwise you won't be able to find the solutions to the problems or puzzles that you have in front of you. And it does feel more like puzzles than problems. It feels like you have to find a solution, almost like a riddle, a riddle that needs to be solved, as opposed to, you know, an obstacle. It's just a riddle. It has a solution. They all do. Not all problems have solutions, or not good ones anyway. All riddles have a solution, and riddles were designed to be solved. They were designed to be enjoyable as well. So there is a message here about enjoying the journey. Even if you're not where you need to be or you want to be right now, enjoy the journey, because that is part of the path. And that's kind of the point as well. If we reached our destination immediately, then we wouldn't learn anything along the way, and the journey is where we learn. So Make a Wish and Divine Magic, wow. Yes. So it shows that the energy is very potent for you right now. It's not quite the moment for action yet. It's still the moment to be waiting, resting, contemplating. But ask for what you want. Make a wish. Ask your angels. Ask your spirit guides. Ask God, Goddess, for what it is that you want. Put your intention out there and say, I want this. And with the Divine Magic card here as well, there's so much potent energy around you right now. There's a very good chance that you will get it, or it will happen faster than you were hoping, or better, in a better way, a more magical way than you were hoping. You might find yourself in the right place at the right time, for example. And there is this little fairy figure here on the card as well. So there could well be help from the fairy realms, from those etheric realms coming through for you as well. And I'm very drawn to give you a little spritz of my Angel Wings spray. This was actually blended for me by Jenny Powell of Crystal Balance. She's amazing. Look her up. I will put her link to her website in the description below. So this is a blend of some of her different sprays that I was using all together. So she put them in one for me. And this is a very powerful spray. I'm spraying it with the intention of receiving it being received by whomever would like to receive that energy. So if you would like to receive the energy of the Angel Wings spray, just drop a heart in the comments, or say yes please, or just intend it. Say it out loud in your mind, it doesn't matter. Yes, there's something very magical and special going on here for you. But I think you know that because you're magical and special anyway. You're one of these people that really interesting things happen to. I was going to say weird, but that's not the right word, but perhaps it is sometimes. Maybe it does feel a bit weird, like you're the person that has all the interesting coincidences happen to them. And that's really good, and I think it's helped to get you out of a hole more than once. Yeah, so you can have what you want. You have to remember to ask for it. Right now is the time for rest and contemplation, but know that the magic is there, the potency is there in the universe. So you absolutely must stay optimistic. What you wish for is coming, one way or another, in magical ways. Now, next we have the divination of the ancients, and boy, are fossils ancient. So let's take a look at what messages they have for you, pile one. Arrow, focus. Yes, that's what I was saying. Be very intentional about what you want right now. Focus on the things that you want, not on the things that you don't. Focus on the outcome that you would like, not the problems you foresee along the way, or even the way that you think it should be solved. Because very often we will ask for the wrong thing in our manifesting, and I do go on about this a lot, but only because it's important. And if you need any help with manifesting work, you can refer to my book, Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works. You can find this on Amazon. You can also find it on my website. So on Amazon you can find the paperback and the Kindle version. If you don't use Amazon, you can get a PDF version from my website, angelwingsholistics.com, link in the description. So be very intentional. Very often what we do, and this is a big mistake many of us make in manifesting, I've done it so many times and I had to spot myself doing it and then write about it in my book because it's so easily done, is instead of asking the universe for the solution, oh no, we're far too clever for that. We've already decided how it's going to happen and we just demand that that plays out exactly as we've imagined it. Okay, and that's really not the point. As I always say, in manifesting work, we get to choose the what, not the how. You choose the what. What is it that you want? You don't get to choose how you get it or how you get there. Okay, that's for the universe to decide. Otherwise, we could be unintentionally trying to manipulate other people, and of course that won't work, or it could backfire badly. But what we can do is we can actually end up giving ourselves more work. You know, very often we might be thinking, well, I need some money, so I'm going to manifest myself some clients for my business. Why are you asking for work? Why aren't you just asking for the money? The universe could have some brilliant ideas of how to bring you that money. Why are you trying to manifest work for yourself? That's not smart. Just ask for the money. It doesn't matter how it comes to you. The universe will sort that bit out. You don't get to decide. Okay, you don't need to decide. Take a load off. Stop trying to take that responsibility. You're just a puny human. But that's our ego. The ego jumps in and wants to control things and wants to be in charge and thinks, oh, I know how this should go. So for years I did this to myself. I wanted a certain amount of money. I wanted to earn at a certain level. But I put the condition on all my manifesting that it had to be through my spiritual business, which really wasn't very smart because it didn't work. So I put those restrictions in place, and funnily enough, my manifesting went very slowly and was very painful. As soon as I took that restriction off and I let the universe suggest a slightly different career to me, the money flowed in really fast, much more than I ever expected. So yeah, take note, friends. Take note, my pile one. Don't make that mistake. Don't make the same mistakes I have, okay? Let me make the mistakes first, and then I'll tell you how to avoid them. That's what I'm here for. Be very intentional. Focus on your outcome, not how you think you should get there. Okay. Aura. Observation. Interesting that the observation card should come below the contemplation time and rest. This is a very strong message to me about manifesting meditation, and also being very in touch with your higher self, working with your higher abilities, working with your spirit self, your soul, and just improving and strengthening your, what I would call your psychic muscle. So work with your psychic abilities. If you've never worked with them before, this might be a nudge to start if you're interested. You know, you might be interested in learning meditation for psychic development, and if you would like to know how to do that, I do have a guided meditation on my other channel, which I will link above here, and see what you make of that. Or you could be joining a meditation group. You could be learning Reiki for the first time. Again, I also teach Reiki. Yes, I will teach you if you want me to. Get in touch. But certainly there's a nudge, a pull here to understand some of the deeper messages, some of the hidden aspects of self, the things that we're not taught at school or that we're blatantly told doesn't exist, which is very unhelpful. Oh, auras don't exist. Don't be ridiculous. Okay, well, that's helpful. And yet they do. If you've ever done Reiki, we work in the aura a lot of the time. We know it's there. You can sense it. You can feel it. You can learn to see it. Some people can see it all the time. I've heard a story about there was a lady who I think she was actually going into one of the spiritualist churches, because I've heard the story in a spiritualist church, and they were discussing the aura and how to look at it and how to see it, and explaining that it kind of looks like a colour. And the first layer of the aura that you see is the one that's closest to the physical body. It's the easiest to see, as you can see here. We call it the ready brick glow. It's kind of like the little glow around the little man on the ready brick advert. But she'd been able to see that her whole life, and she didn't realise that other people couldn't. And she was like, well, everyone has a bit of a coloured glow around them. And everyone was like, what? They have what now? So maybe you can already see them, and maybe you just don't realise it. Children very often can perceive aura colours, which is very, very interesting. There's also something called Kirlian photography, which is very interesting if you get a chance to have a go at that or have a photo taken, which will actually try and capture your aura as well. So lots of different threads there for lots of different people, lots of messages coming through. So very, very interesting time for you. Next, we're going to look at some numbers. I have my numerology dice here. These are actually Dungeons and Dragons dice because I love all the shapes, and it comes in with some platonic solids, which I absolutely love. Let's see some numbers here and do a little bit of numerology for you, because we're going ancient, so we're going numbers. Look at that. We have 44. We have a 2. Another 2. Oh, we're getting double numbers here. We have a 16, which is interesting because that's 4 times 4. We have 60, and we have 1. Yes, and the arrow is actually representative of number 1 in numerology. It is the arrow that shoots up out of the void, out of 0. It is the first number, and it is a very potent energy, number 1 energy. So this is a good time to be planning for your new beginnings, I feel. Your new beginnings for you, for that which you wish to aim for. So that's a confirmation of the arrow energy coming through on number 1. So it should be all about you right now. Please do focus on yourself. You may have been spending too much time focusing on other people, and that could have been a mistake. So we have number 4, which is a very grounded number. It can be quite heavy energy, quite difficult energy, but it comes in twice. So we have 44-8. 44 is interesting in numerology. It is, if you saw my video on my other channel about Elon Musk buying Twitter, you'll know how I feel about that number. I will try and remember to link that above. And 44 is energy very much in the here and now. And I think I described it in that video as being slapped in the face with a wet kipper. Something you can't ignore. It cannot be ignored. So it could be your spirituality, or your guides knocking very hard on the door at the moment. Not wishing to be ignored anymore, or not wishing to be put on the back burner if you've not been working with them so much. But certainly it is about the here and now. It is about your foundation as well, the ground beneath your feet. So you could be building a house, buying a house, or looking to move at the moment. And there is positivity there, because 44-8. 8 can be a number of great prosperity. So your next move, whether it's a house move, a work or business move, could bring you great prosperity, could bring you a lot of money. So that's quite exciting. Next we have 2, the number of duality, but we have it twice, interestingly. So we have 22, the feet of the goddess, 22-4. So again, another 4. So we've technically got 4-4-4 here. Which is very interesting energy. So very much in the here and now, very much staying in the 3D energy, but bringing the divine, bringing the sacred into the mundane, bringing those messages, that understanding into everyday life. And this is something that I talk about a lot, and something that is a mission and perhaps a challenge for many souls incarnated right now, which is to integrate those higher spiritual lessons into everyday life so that we evolve as a species, so that we become those greater spiritual beings that we were always meant to be. And 22 with the divine goddess, I nearly said. We can call her that. Very feminine energy as well, very empowering feminine energy. Again, 22 matches beautifully with the Queen of Hearts. It can be pregnancy, fertility, for example. That could be a theme in your life right now. That could be a sign for you. Maybe you have small children. But 2 as well challenges us to understand different points of view and challenges us to understand diversity of ideas and to see where the truth is and not to take extreme stances. Although when we are under the influence of number 2 energy, we can find ourselves very much going to extremes. That is one of the lessons of number 2, to explore extremes, kind of like a seesaw. The seesaw is very much a visual representation of number 2 energy, and then to find the truth, which is usually somewhere in the middle. You could also see it as the scales of justice. The scale needs to balance before we can be in balance. So interesting energy there with 22-4. Also, we have a number 16, which is 4 times 4. So 16 is an interesting number as well. It's the heart leading the individual. So the message here is allow yourself to be led by the heart, by what it is that you wish to achieve, wish to accomplish, but from your heart-centered self rather than what your ego mind tells you you should be doing. This is a case of, I yearn to do this, I wish to do this, I'm passionate about that, rather than my brain says I have to do that because that's what I have a degree in, or that seems to be a good idea at the moment, or that's what it's expected of me. I want you to throw expectation out of the window. I feel very much like it isn't the moment for that right now, or it won't be very soon. You may be stuck in a rut right now, but you will not be for soon. For soon? You won't be soon. Your answers are very, very much coming. The shift and the change is coming. And that shift and change comes in with number 16, which is also the Tower energy from the Major Arcana of the Tarot as well, which is big change, can sometimes be unexpected. But here it is leading from the heart. So changes that do come in will be intentional by the universe, I want to say. They will be bringing you blessings and gifts. So even if some of the changes are a bit upsetting and shocking, try not to worry too much because it's still taking you in the right direction. So number 60. Ooh, I do like 60. It's a very interesting number. It's the decade of the heart. It's the void, the no mind leading the heart. So it's the heart going on a higher spiritual journey. So we're very much coming from higher heart when we're in number 60 energy. And the higher heart is a little pink chakra just above the normal one, which is the heart chakra, which is green, which sits over the physical heart. It could also be talking about actual heart issues for some people there. So if you have a heart complaint, or if you think you do and you haven't been to the doctor, this is your message to go to the doctor and get it sorted out. Find out what's happening. Don't put it off. Yeah. It's the end of like a period of struggle as well. I'm just looking at my book because I wanted to refer to this one for number 60 as well, because there's always really good messages in here. I wanted to see what jumps out at me. 6 of Swords. Yes, it's representative of the 6 of Swords. That makes sense, doesn't it? Positive new beginnings, reaching a new shore. So again, that's repeating the house move message that we were getting earlier. Yeah. Happy conclusions. So perhaps the end of a job and the beginning of a new one, a new house, a new home, a new hearth, but it's all centered around the heart right now. Lead from the heart rather than from the ego mind. So just a little bit of confirmation on there as well. So let's add all of these numbers up and see what we have. Okay, I make that 89. Yes, I used a calculator. I can't do maths like that under pressure. I'm sure I could. I can't be bothered. 89. I always like to check myself as well because I have a habit of getting it wrong. 89. Interesting. So it's the end of a cycle of struggle is what I want to say. You may have gotten very good at that struggle and you may have earned some money, earned your crust, kept going somehow. But it feels like there's a sense of exhaustion at 89. There's a real tiredness, like, geez, am I not finished yet? Yeah, and this might be echoed by people who get to the age of 89. I don't know if you're 89 or over. Please do comment because I'd love to hear from you about what being 89 is like. So 8 and 9. 17, 17, 8. So yeah, there's a lot of 8 energy in there, goodness me. But there's also 17, which can be a very hopeful number. But again, 17 is the mystic leading the individual. So there is a pull now to stop going with the crowd. Stop going with the crowd and actually be led by your intuition. By your intuition and by heart. And by your desires, and aim for what you actually want now, as opposed to what you think you're supposed to be aiming for. Yeah. So my pile ones, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was interesting. I hope you enjoyed our fossil reading. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hype this video if you feel so inclined, or if you're able to. It's a new feature on YouTube that helps my videos get noticed, and I would really, really appreciate it if you could please do that for me. So until I see you guys again, take very good care of yourselves. And of course, if you're drawn to one of the other readings, you can, of course, dip into one of those and get some more messages from pile 2, 3, or 4, or maybe all of them. Please remember, my diary is open. So if you want to make a booking with me, you can do that on angelwingsholistics.com. Or if you'd like to buy any gorgeous organic aromatherapy products or aromatherapy oils, my Neal's Yard consultant link is also in the description below. In the meantime, I will see you very soon. Bye-bye. Hello to you, my pile 2s. You chose the Ammonite fossil and the Jack of Diamonds. Now, you may know, or you may not know, I have a thing for Ammonites. You may have noticed there's one here on my desk already. Absolutely love it because it represents the Fibonacci sequence. And being an esoteric numerologer, that's something very special to me, which I find very beautiful, but also very magical as well. It is the essence of all things, and how things grow and expand. So, and so much more. We're not going to go into that now. We're not going to have a lesson on the Fibonacci sequence. However, Jack of Diamonds is a very interesting card to show up here. It is about business, it is about career, it is about ambition. The Jack of Diamonds can be a very ambitious card. You may be at a point in your career where, or early on in your career, or perhaps you've just changed job, or you're thinking of changing career path, starting something new, starting a new job, hoping to be successful, hoping to make more money. Of course, diamonds can be about money. Maybe you're starting your own business. Very often this can talk about younger people as well, because it is the energy of a jack rather than a king. Doesn't necessarily mean you're a male. It could be male or female. Or you could just be a younger person. It's interesting because this can be quite an unlucky card when it comes to money as well. So take it as it resonates for you, because obviously it's going to be different for everybody. Maybe you're hard on your luck at the moment when it comes to money. Maybe you have been struggling. Maybe things haven't been going so well for you. So we're going to get some messages from our fossil ancestors, our ancient fossil ancestors. We can't go much more ancient than that. I thought it would be a fun thing to do. And I try never to be boring on this channel, because who wants to be boring? Who wants to be the same as everyone else? Okay, so I've got a couple of packs of oracle cards here to work with as well. I have the mermaids and dolphins, because all of our fossils are actually sea creatures. And I have the divination of the ancients card here, because they are very ancient. It just seemed very appropriate. So let's pop our fossil and our Jack of Diamonds up here, next to our lovely smoky quartz wand. And yes, this is smoky quartz for anyone who's wondering. This is not clear quartz. It's quite hard to see, but it is a smoky quartz, so it's a little bit different. Okay. Smoky quartz is wonderful for clearing negativity, by the way. It is a very special form of quartz, and one that I like to work with. I have it pointing to the side to sort of clear any negativity and negative energy off the desk as well. That's something it will do. It will also clear geometric smog, EMF energy. It does all kinds of good things, but generally it protects and clears your energy. So it's quite an interesting one to work with. So as I'm shuffling the cards, one has actually fallen out. I'm having to check them because they're mermaids. They don't all have clothes on. Make sure that I'm not going to get in any trouble with the YouTube censor algorithm. We have our censor shells ready to go, of course. Okay, alchemy. You have the Midas touch right now, and every project you begin turns to gold. Well, That's very appropriate for the Jack of Diamonds. That's his vibe. Yes. Okay. Oh, goodness, they're falling out again. Ready, set, go. Oh, goodness me, this is exciting. This is a very exciting reading. Things are about to go so well for you, pile 2. This is just really cool. Maybe they're already going well. Make a wish. Lovely. We had this in pile 1 as well, so they could also be messages for you in pile 1. Could be a little bit of crossover here. Things are all about to get going for you. This is exciting. Oh, goodness. Another one falling out. Positive energy. Have all my cards fallen out so far? I think they have. I haven't picked any. They've literally jumped out of the pack, and I don't do that on purpose. I'm not waiting for them to jump out of the pack. They're just kind of doing it. So let's see what the last one's going to be. You want to come out, don't you? Friendship. Oh, that's lovely. So positive energy and friendship. Beautiful. Reminding you to stay in positive energy. Okay. Big things are coming for you, my pile 2. Okay, it's going to look different for everybody, but there's success, there's happiness, and possibly financial success. Could be quite big financial success coming in for you. Could be a windfall, but I feel more like it's to do with things that you have earned. So I feel like whatever you're getting, you will have earned it on some way. You know, for example, if it was an inheritance, it might be because you took care of an elderly relative for 10 years or something. It feels very much like you've earned what you're getting. It's not coming to you out of nowhere, out of the blue. But it is coming to you because you did the right thing, because you are doing the right thing, taking the right steps at the moment. And everything's about to change for you. Everything's about to shift beautifully and get moving. And there's a suggestion here that you are going to be able to ask for more from the universe. Maybe you will have more financial resources or more resources in other ways, non-financial resources, you know, connections, property, things that allow you to live differently, to do things differently. So there's a powerful energy of manifestation in the air here, which really shouldn't go to waste. It's very, very important that you use this right now because you can utilize it. So I think the mistake here would be not to accept the offer or to ignore what's being placed on the table for you. So that could be now, that could be recent past, or that could be in the future to come shortly. So yes, very, very important that you focus on what it is that you would like right now, because the universe is basically going to give you a lot of gifts, which is absolutely wonderful. So I think there's a little wish here. It could be your birthday soon when you're watching this as well, because it feels almost like a birthday wish, like you get to ask for something that you don't normally get to ask for as well. Almost like writing a letter to Father Christmas. Sorry, that's Santa Claus for the Americans watching, but we Brits really know that, you know, he's really called Father Christmas, not Santa Claus. We're not Dutch. Right. On that bombshell. Positive energy and friendship. Yes, absolutely. I am feeling that it's very important for you to stay, oh God, in positive energy right now. Try not to knock my phone stand. There we go. Very important that you surround yourself with the right people, and friendship has been highlighted here as well, which is curious and not too surprising either, because maybe there are some friends around you who are quite negative, who drag you down. Could be family members as well, but people that you spend time with perhaps on the regular, or that you speak to communicate with reasonably regularly, I would say, but they drag you down. They are not allowing you to live your fullest potential. And I feel there could be a need to step back from some of these people, and you will know if that's the case for you. On the flip side, it could also be that you have some very positive, successful friends, maybe new friends who want to spend time with you, or family members who want to impart their wisdom, but impart their energy to you, because everything is energy. This isn't just about knowing how to do the thing to make the money. It's being in the right energy to be able to do it and thrive in that energy. And of course, if you need any help with manifesting, you can get a copy of my book, Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works. It's available in paperback or on Kindle from Amazon. You can also get a copy from my website, angelwingsholistics.com, if you'd rather get a PDF. So, yes, there is a need very much to avoid negativity at the moment as much as possible. And I don't mean avoid negativity as in pretend bad things don't happen. Of course they do. Of course difficult challenges arise in our lives, and sad things, tragic things happen sometimes. It's not about that. It's not denying reality. It's about staying away from negative Nellies who want to drag you down and have a pity party, who want you to join in with their moaning, their complaining, their pity party. We don't have time for Debbie Downers right now, Part 2. This is not the moment for that. This is the time to fly high. And it wouldn't surprise me in the numerology if we get a 23 come out later, if we get a 2 and a 3. I have my numerology dice here because we're going to look at some numbers as well. I'm feeling Icarus energy here, and not the negative aspect of Icarus, where he got cocky and flew too close to the sun. I mean the positive energy of Icarus, where we fly high in the mind, where we are idealistic and we have lofty ideals and we want to create more, do something bigger, do something better, do something new, but something beautiful that brings wisdom to the world, that brings in greater knowledge and information for people. So that could be a part of your career, your job, your work, your life's work. You could be a teacher, you could be a spiritual teacher, you could be somebody who guides and helps others to reach a higher path, to step up. I'm seeing in my mind somebody helping someone up a step, to step up to higher vibrational energy, to live happier, to live freer. You are one of those people that helps to facilitate that, I feel, pal, too. And I think because of that, you have manifested, you are an alchemist. You have manifested this magical situation for yourself, whether you're aware of it coming or not. It's coming. It's very exciting. I'm really pleased for you. I'm really happy. You've earned this. You deserve it. And you need to kind of stay away from the people who will be jealous or who think you don't deserve it, because there will be some green eyes. Unfortunately, there will be some envy, some jealousy, and there will be a need to back away from certain parties. And they could be colleagues at work, they could be employees, they could be anyone. It could be a neighbour who's really negative. I had a very negative neighbour one time when I lived in the countryside of Dorset. She was so negative and so rude as well. She acted like she was this nice old lady, but she really wasn't. The first day I moved into that house, the police actually came looking for her because she'd done a hit and run. She'd had a car crash and driven off without leaving her details, which is an offence in this country, by the way. You can't do that. You can't leave the scene of an accident without leaving your insurance details. So that kind of told us everything we needed to know about her just on day one. And she seemed like this kind of nice old lady who was kind of a bit well-to-do and very hardworking. But the truth was, she was a miserable bitch. She really wasn't a nice person at all. And my cat at the time, this was before Bedford, this is when I had Evie. Some of you may remember lovely Evie. She was a bit of a biatch as well, to be honest, but she was a very sweet girl as well. She looked after me. She was a little soulmate cat of mine. Beautiful little tabby girl. And Evie would have nothing to do with her. And this lady loved cats, and she was always trying to get her to go and say hello to her. I mean, Evie was cheeky. She'd go in her house. She'd walk around and have a look, but she wouldn't let her touch her. She wouldn't let her stroke her. In fact, she would make a very big point of walking around her so that she couldn't stroke her if she had to go past. It was very funny to witness, but Evie really took no prisoners when it came to who she didn't like. I mean, she took no prisoners generally, to be honest. She was that kind of cat. She was the neighbourhood bully. She was a tiny little female who was a bit elderly, had arthritis, but she would beat up any cat that came on her territory, come hell or high water, and she didn't care. She was an Aries, and you knew all about it. So, yes, take a leaf out of Evie's book. Be very intentional about what you want. Tap into that Aries energy. We all have the energy of all 12 zodiac signs, or 13 if you want to work from that system, within us. I like to include a few because I found it intriguing. So channel that Aries energy, that kind of number one, me first energy, because it is appropriate sometimes. You don't always have to put yourself last. In fact, you shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't be putting yourself last all the time. There are times to put yourself first, and this is one of them, I feel. So exciting stuff coming in for you guys. I'm very, very pleased for you. So we're going to get some cards from our fossil ancestors now from the Divination of the Ancients pack. Let's see what we've got here then. We have Flowers, Fickle. I thought that was going to come out because as I was shuffling the cards back into the deck from pile one, I actually saw that one. And I thought, oh, I bet that's going to be a message. Yes, flowers. Flowers don't last very long. once we cut them. I mean, they don't last very long on the plant because they're not supposed to. They are literally a phase that comes and goes. So this phase of good fortune could be quite short-lived. Okay, we don't get to be high on the hog all the time. We don't get to ride high on the tiger, as Osho would put it. Sometimes we are celebrated. Sometimes we are in the sunshine, getting all the rewards, getting the trophies, being celebrated. And I feel that's going to be the case for you very soon, if not already, part 2. But it's not something that's going to last forever. Okay, we're not going to be in that excited, high vibrational energy forever. Well, it's more kind of high energy rather than high vibrational, because of course we can move up to higher vibrations. Yeah, but sometimes the party has to be over at some point. The party doesn't go on forever. The party has to stop. So there is a message here not to waste or squander any money that you come into, to make sure that it does actually last, that you do make sensible decisions, that you don't make rash decisions that could cause you to be unlucky in money, which the Jack of Diamonds warns us about. Don't go down the casino thinking you can double whatever you've just won, earned, inherited. That would not be a good idea. Come on now. We need to be a little bit sensible. Don't give it to an online romance scam. I'm just looking at the roses and it's just reminding me, I watch videos on YouTube sometimes by Scamfish, from Social Catfish, and they're a company that has this software that helps people to work out if they're talking to a real person or a scammer online. And I enjoy watching those videos, and sometimes it's hard to feel sorry for these people. It really can be a bit hard to feel sorry for them, falling for scams which are so obvious, and they really should have known better, and like they've given away their life savings and their children's inheritance is all gone now, and you just think, you idiot. So don't be an idiot. I'm nothing if not blunt. Don't be an idiot, part 2. Be sensible with your money. Remember to save some for a rainy day. Remember to think about the future. Much as it will be an exciting time for you. I mean, with these oxeye daisies always have such an excitable energy for me. I always feel very high when I'm around daisies. And yes, I have worked with daisies, that's why I can say that. It's not just a case of I go in the garden, there are daisies, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, I kind of am. I've kind of always been like that, actually. I always get excited around daisies. But as a flower that I have worked with in a herbal capacity, because you can make them into a tea, tastes a bit lemony. They have a very fun and fizzy energy. So do enjoy that, but don't get carried away with it. Remember that you have to rest, and remember that you have to think on the long term as well. Okay. So clouds, mystical. Well, that is interesting. Gorgeous card. Look at these lovely colours of clouds. Seem to be like magical lights there as well. Almost like there are beings up here waiting for you, waiting to communicate with you. So for some of you, there's a strong message here about your psychic abilities actually going up a notch without you having to really try about it, without you really having to make an effort to make that happen. I also feel for some people there's communication from off-planet, from higher dimensional beings or aliens, whatever you want to call them, who are not from this planet, who are not from this reality necessarily. So you may identify as a starseed. That may be something that's already part of your path. But I feel there's a lot of information coming through. And with the clouds, it feels almost like the clouds are parting for you. There is spiritual information being imparted to you. It might be appropriate for you as well, if you are able to go out and look at the night sky and to contemplate the stars, and to see what inspiration and messages come through for you, especially when it's not too bright. When there's a full moon, we can't really see them, and the full moon can damage your eyes if you look at it for too long, can't it? Just like, because it's reflecting sunlight. At the end of the day, you shouldn't stare at the moon because you can damage your retinas. But on a night when there is no moon, on a dark moon perhaps, or one of the darker crescents of the moon, have a look at the stars, because I feel like they have messages for you. In my mind, I'm seeing the Milky Way as well, so, which is gorgeous if you live somewhere where you can actually see it properly, and see the stars in where it's nice and dark. I'm seeing some of my listeners, I know you're going to live somewhere or have access to a location where there is very little light pollution, because I'm seeing absolutely stunning views of the stars in my mind, which is beautiful. And where I used to live in rural France, in the southwest of France, we had a pretty good view of the night sky because there was very little light pollution. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and at night time there's very little lighting around the village, so that wasn't a problem. And if you turn off the lights in the house, it was pitch black, absolutely pitch black, and you get a really good view of the stars and of whichever planets were in view as well, which was absolutely stunning. So astronomy, astrology, both of those themes coming up for you, part 2, but stargazing particularly, and I'm thinking about the planets because I'm going back in my mind to when I was able to observe Saturn and Jupiter in particular. I was able to see Saturn's rings, and not with the naked eye, of course. My eyesight's not that good. I had some very strong binoculars. We didn't have a telescope, but we did have some very strong binoculars on a tripod because they're far too heavy to hold. And the 4 largest moons of Jupiter were also visible as well. So I'm very drawn to those 2 planets for you and to their moons, the 4 large moons of, I'm going to try and remember them now. So the 4 large moons of Jupiter, we have Ganymede, Io, no, not Io, Europa, and is it Io? I'm going to have to look this up afterwards. What's the 4th one? Help me out here. Someone put them in the comments because I can't remember, but you can look it up. You will have Google. You're watching YouTube, you will have Google. I forget what they are. I used to know them at one point. I have seen them all. Don't ask me which was which, but I have seen them all, and it was really quite a humbling experience to be able to see them. The 4 largest moons of Jupiter. Obviously, you can't see the tiny ones. Didn't have binoculars that were that powerful, and the rings of Saturn, absolutely fascinating. So connections to Saturn and Jupiter there as well. So it might be a moment to look at where Saturn and Jupiter are in your chart, in your natal chart, and compare them to where they are right now for you as well. There are websites where you can do that for free, so you don't necessarily have to pay to do that. There's a particularly good one that I use. I think it's called astroseek.com, astro-seek.com. I think that's the one. Have a Google, but there are some very good free sites out there which will give you excellent information for nothing, basically. So, part 2, let's have a look at your numerology. Let's get some numbers. You guys know I am an esoteric numerologist. Love me some numbers. All right, 11. I said you guys were special, didn't I? Oh, do you know, I've done some interesting birth charts in my time. Particularly, there was somebody very, very famous who has 1111 in their birth chart, which is a very sacred numerology to have. We have 90. Wow. We have 2. I said 23 was going to show up, didn't I? We've got 23 twice. 23. Didn't I say? Thank you very much. 23, the Icarus mind. Not just once, but twice. Okay, we also have 33 and 22. So, absolutely very, very powerful time of idealism, perhaps of being able to create, to innovate, which is all very powerful energy connected to the Jack of Diamonds. That all chimes very strongly with that. We also have 22, Feet of the Goddess, that showed up in pile 1. So again, there could be messages there for you. Very divine feminine energy, which helps us to understand diversity of opinion. It helps us to understand where our opponent is coming from, and it encourages us to listen. Even if we think we are diametrically opposed from somebody, there will be things that we can agree on, that we can find common ground in the middle. If I were to draw a representation of number 2 energy, I would draw a seesaw. Okay, what do Americans call that? A teeter-totter. What the fuck is that word? Anyway, ridiculous. But stop being ridiculous, Americans. Come on. So I should let you off. It's Thanksgiving. It's a holiday. I shouldn't be so mean to you, should I? You know I'm joking. Right, 22 energy, 22-4. It is a divine energy coming from the goddess. So it allows us to see things through the eyes of the goddess, to see the real world for what it truly is, to understand why people have different opinions, why they can sometimes take very extreme stances on things, and to see everything from a higher standpoint, and to understand that there is perfection and beauty in everything. And coming alongside number 33, this is really very sacred numerology here, because 33 is the Christ consciousness. And I was talking about this in our last group reading, which I'm going to link above here, because there were some very interesting and important messages that came through in that reading about the number 33 and about how misunderstood it is. Yes, it's a powerful number, but its positive aspect is the Christ consciousness. It is Jesus Christ. It is that energy. Okay, it is nothing to fear, but something to be aware of. So 33:6 and 22:4. 4 and 6 is 10. 10:1. So we're bringing in an energy of change here as well for you, but change coming from big ideas. I want to put these back as 23:23 because that's how I see them energetically. That's 32. Let's not do that. 23:23. So 23, the Icarus mind, where we fly high in the mind. Maybe that's your birth date. It's mine. I was born on the 23rd. 23 is obviously one of my favourite numbers and one I know a lot about because it's one of the first ones I learned about because it's one of the ones in my chart. So of course I know about it. And it is the blueprint leading... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for to describe the energy of number 2, and not the seesaw. That's not where we're going. I'm getting the word opposition for some reason as well. So there must be a reason I can't think of the word I normally use to describe number 2. Instead of diversity of opinion and opposition is coming in. So the blueprint here is certainly making us look at our differences and to understand our differences and what to do about that and where to find in the middle, where to find that middle ground in the middle. And I think that's going to be part of your path, pal, too. I think you will be helping to bring people together, helping to overcome disagreements, especially very fundamental, deeply held views. I think you are somebody who can bring people together and help them to recognize that they have more in common than not. Because you are a visionary. 23 is a very visionary number. You are somebody who can see, again, I was talking about from number 22, having that higher vision, being able to see the truth of situations rather than being drawn into the squabbling of, no, blue is right, no, red is right, no, it's blue, no, it's red, maybe it's purple. Maybe it's a blend of the two numbers, And you probably noticed there's a lot of purple in the cards that I've got out. Actually, you can't see the boxes of all of the cards over there on my radiator, which is what I've got them sat on. They're all purple today. They're all shades of purple, so maybe that's the answer. People coming together to genuinely help each other as opposed to squabbling over things that maybe don't matter as much, maybe are less important. I think a lot of people have lost sight of what's important in life right now, and I think that's a shame. And I feel like part of your path is going to be helping bring people back together. Because you're a very sacred being, because you have 1111 showing up here. That's the pillars of we call this numerology the pillars of the temple. Okay, so there's one pillar, there's the other pillar, and there's the door, the entrance into the temple. And you have access to higher knowledge, or you will have access to higher spiritual knowledge. Again, confirmation of the clouds card here. Which is going to help you to help humanity to grow. And with this number 90 here, number 9 is an extremely wise number. And when you move into the decade of number 9, or the, what's the word for 10 numbers? I don't know what the word for that is, but decade will do, because that can be age as well. But when you move into the 90s, you're nearly at the end of the first 100 in numerology, in numbers. So you've learned a lot. You have gained a huge level of mastery in your life, in your lifetime. And I believe you may be an old soul as well. I think you are somebody who brings in great wisdom from off-planet, from ancient past lifetimes. Maybe you lived as a fossil, one of these fossilized creatures at some point. Maybe you feel very drawn to the Ammonite, just like I do, which I absolutely love Ammonites. This is a necklace. The chain broke on mine, but thankfully I caught it at the last second, so I didn't lose it. I obviously wasn't supposed to lose it. But obviously I wasn't supposed to wear it either. So there we go. Maybe I'll get a new chain for it one day, because I do really love the Ammonite, and I love having that energy around me, that beautiful spiral, that reminder of the spiral and the perfection of the universe and how everything can grow. and how there is unlimited possibility and unlimited potential for everything in our lives, and for people and for humanity. And I think you are somebody that understands that. You are aware of the greater destiny of humankind, I want to say, and you're somebody that's going to help humankind get there. Okay. Very, very powerful energy, but very sacred, very angelic as well. 1111, very, very strongly connected to the angelic realms there as well. So you could be somebody that communicates regularly with your angels. Maybe you're just aware of them. Maybe you just see white feathers everywhere. That's always fun. Now, I live in an area where, in theory, there are a lot of white feathers around because we have pigeons who drop white feathers. We also have a lot of seagulls because I live on the coast. And I don't see as many white feathers as you would expect. But when I'm working with angels, suddenly a whole glut of them shows up. So they are there. The thing about white feathers should not be dismissed, because it is a very beautiful way that the angels can send us messages. Phew. That was a lot, part 2, I have to say. That was a lot of information coming through there. I'm really excited for you. I feel like your life is going to be so special and meaningful. And I hope it's wonderful for you. I hope these messages were helpful for you. I hope that it brought through confirmation and guidance. Wow. I'm a bit blown away. So I'm speechless for a moment, like, wow, that was an amazing reading. Whew. Absolutely beautiful energy coming through here. Yeah, there's a lot in the world for you. There's a lot of beautiful things coming up in your life. So I can't wait to hear about them in the future. So come back and tell me all about them, please. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can hype this video if you so please. I would love it if you could do that, because that helps my channel to be discovered. That's really, really helpful to me. Hyping is a new feature on YouTube that tells the algorithm that my videos are worth looking at and worth sharing with other people, so I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. My diary is open for December. And you can, of course, book with me if you want a reading or some sort of energy healing session through my website, angelwingsholistics.com, which is linked below. Or if you would like to buy some Christmas presents or presents for yourself, gifts for yourself, birthday presents, or just any old skincare. Any old skincare, what am I saying? You can do so at my Neal's Yard Organic Consultant Shop, which is also linked below, which is all gorgeous organic aromatherapy stuff. So remember, you may have messages in pile 1, 3 or 4, so please do feel free to drop into one or many of those. In the meantime, please take very, very good care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Calypso, that was it. That was the 4th moon of Jupiter, Calypso. Bye, pile 2. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your fossil reading. You have chosen the fossilized shark's tooth. Yes, it's a real one. It's not plastic. And the Ace of Spades, which according to some is the only card you need. Sorry. The shark's tooth and the Ace of Spades, very appropriate. As I said in the beginning, I don't know who decided that that was going to go on this card, but it's a brilliant choice, I have to say. The shark's, God, that's sharp. Ow. This is really sharp. That's sharper than my cat's teeth. That's like a cat's claw. It's so sharp. Yeah, it may be a moment where you need to defend yourself. I mean, certainly the Ace of Spades in cartomancy, when we're talking about playing cards, it's about big changes, major life changes, having to let go of things that perhaps you don't want to, things that you've become accustomed to, things that you're used to, major change, something cutting through and cutting you off from something perhaps. It's a difficult card. It is also a card of potential and intellect, so it does show that you have a huge potential, that you could be using your mind to achieve bigger, better and greater things perhaps, but maybe it's not so easy. Maybe things haven't been so easy. Maybe you're in a difficult situation already where you are being faced with big changes that you didn't ask for. Maybe you're going through a divorce or a job loss or something like that, or some sort of illness in yourself or other people around you, and I kind of feel like I want to cut with the tooth here. It's almost like cutting away something that can't be a part of your life anymore. So it's definitely a more challenging group, this one, I feel, than piles 1 and 2, which were kind of much gentler energies. This one, I feel like you're going through it a little bit, pile 3, or you have been. Yeah, certainly not the easiest energy that we're dealing with here. So it's good that you're joining us. Let's have a look to see what messages we have from our ancient ancestors, our beautiful fossilized animals. So, all right. So the sharks on the card in particular are from the Triassic period, but also up until recent day. So who knows how old this particular tooth is. I mean, it could date anywhere from thousands of years ago to really not that long ago. Sharks are quite long-lived as well as animals go, so I want to say that you're perhaps a little bit long in the tooth, shall we say. Maybe you're an older person, or maybe you just feel like you've been around forever, because things have been very challenging and you've had to have your wits about you, or maybe that's still the situation now, that you have to have your wits about you in order to deal with things. In my mind, I was very drawn to dragons when I was getting your reading ready, and I also wanted to bring in my gorgeous obsidian stallion as well. Obsidian's a very protective black crystal, so it could be a nudge for you to get some black obsidian. This is my obsidian stallion, who I absolutely love. So the imagery of the stallion as well. Stallions are very beautiful, very protective of their herd and of their offspring. They can be very gentle, but they are also very powerful. But they don't misuse their power. Stallions can be absolutely beautiful, wonderful horses to work with. I'm going to pop him over there because I feel like he wants to be a part of this. So, the stallion and the dragon could also be symbolic for you as well. They could be creatures that you resonate with very strongly, that you like. So let's see what wants to come out for you. What messages do we have? I'm picking the cards off camera just in case I need to censor anything, in case there are any boobies, because we are working with mermaids and dolphins. The Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle deck. It's called Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, and I don't want a YouTube strike, so there we go. Blessed change, protection. Yes, I felt like you needed protection. That's why our stallion is here, right next to the protection card. I love that. Blessed change. The protection card is very positive because it tells you that you are protected. It provides reassurance that you are being taken care of. Your loved ones are being taken care of. There's angelic presence around you trying to keep you as safe as possible. So blessed change. Yes, Ace of Spades is about change. A major life change brings great blessings, even if it doesn't seem that great to start with, even if things start out a little bit tough, even if, like shark cartilage, even if things are a little bit difficult or scary, like sharks are scary. There's lots of shark imagery coming through. Here. Please don't click away. And I swear it gets better. It gets better. Friendship. Yes. There are people around you who are very much looking out for you at the moment. Your tribe. It could be family members. They could be chosen family. They could be friends, acquaintances, or even colleagues, or just random acquaintances stepping in to help you just at the right moment, just with a kind word, a kind gesture. So I feel like the support is there to get you through whatever difficult experience you've had or are going through currently. 2 cards just fell out, so I'm going to take them. We have divine... What did I just say? Helpful person. They're so cheeky. I love it when they do that. Helpful person, someone wants to help. Yeah. Someone wants to help you. Lots of people want to help you at the moment. So I think you will find people stepping up to help you through adversity. Yes, there may be challenges, but people will literally come out of the woodwork to help you, to get you through it. I've been in situations like that myself. I was in a very, very challenging situation at one point, and with nowhere to live, and people literally appeared out of the woodwork to help me. And it went so beautifully, smoothly and calmly in a situation that could have been absolutely disastrous for me, basically. And I'm so grateful for them for stepping forwards when they did. But they arrived at the right moment. It was like clockwork, like magic. It was really beautiful. And we have the Divine Magic card as well. So the Divine Magic card is a very special card to see because it adds extra potency to all the other messages, and it adds extra potency to any manifesting work that you're doing at the moment or anything that you are asking the universe for. And of course, if you are doing any manifesting work and you want any help with that, you can get a copy of my book, Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works. This is all my own work. You can get the paperback or Kindle from Amazon, or if you'd rather not or can't use Amazon, you can get a PDF copy from my website, angelwingsholistics.com, which is linked below. So I also feel drawn to tell you, if you go onto my website, angelwingsholistics.com, only use the link in the description. Don't trust anyone else to point you to it. There are scammers out there. I want you guys to be careful, okay? You can actually go onto a page where I have one of my angel decks that I created. It's the first one I created, called the Angel Wings Oracle. And you can go on there anytime, day or night, and for absolutely free, there's no charge for the service at all. You can pick a card as many times as you want from my website. The cards are all there on a page, and you just click on whichever one you feel drawn to and you get your message. Okay, and you can do that anytime you want, as many times as you want, completely free. There is a button to buy me a coffee if you feel so inclined, which is always appreciated, but not compulsory by any means. But I feel that could be something that could be useful to you. So just to make a note of that, you can find those angel cards on my website, free to use. And Rest just fell out as well, so we're going to bring it in. So Rest and Divine Magic have already come out. Actually, Friendship's already come out as well. So this is interesting. We got some repeating themes here from, I think, from 1 and 2. I'm struggling to remember now which groups they came out for. I think it was 1 and 2. But if you're drawn to pile 1 or pile 2 or both of them, there could be messages for you in there as well. I think it might be pile 1. Anyway, you tell me. You tell me what resonates for you, because obviously everyone's situation is different, and this is a group reading, so I'm tugging on lots of different threads of energy here. So some of the messages will apply to you, some of them might not. All right, so yes, tricky time, and yet difficulties, and yet I want to say everything will still turn out okay for you, better than okay. Things will still go well. They may be challenging for a time, and perhaps exhausting, with the rest card here as well, advising you to take some rest and not work too hard, or to try and recover from the work that you have had to do to survive, to get by, to thrive. And I feel like you've done extremely well. There's certainly an acknowledgement here from the universe of how well you have done, how well you are doing. There is a congratulations. I can hear clapping in my mind. From the higher realms. They are very proud of you. Your guides are very proud of you right now. Your angels are so proud and so happy with how you have coped, how you are still coping with everything, because they know it's not easy, and they're doing their best to send you the support and the help that you need at the right moment. The right person will show up at the right moment to help and support you, even if they're a complete stranger. And I love it when the angels show up as complete strangers. That's always fun. And in hindsight, you go, was that was that an angel? I just went, maybe they were. Maybe they were just inspired by angels to help you. So yeah, there's a lot going on for you guys, pile 3, and you have my sympathy, because I can see things haven't been easy for you. But I want you to expect miracles, like it says on the Divine Magic card. Expect things to go better, expect improvement, expect miracles, because you deserve them. And you can absolutely manifest them, no matter how difficult things might appear right now, even if you're starting from 0. And your situation doesn't need to be bad. It might just be challenging. You might just have a lot to do at the moment. It might just be challenging you in many different ways, asking a lot of you, draining a lot of energy from you. I want to say there could also be some unexpected communication, because my phone was just interrupted from recording your video for a phone call. So there could be contact coming in that you're not expecting, somebody helping you perhaps, someone you haven't heard from for a long time. Again, right person at the right moment just drops into your life and helps you out, or maybe you contact them because you think, oh, I wonder if that person can, help me with this, or I wonder if they still know so-and-so, or can put me in touch with that. So there could be unexpected communication coming in to help you here as well. So next we're going to look at these cards. These are the Divination of the Ancients Oracle, because it doesn't get much more ancient than fossils and cards are falling out. Aura, we had that in pile 1. That's interesting. Okay, so we're getting some correlations with pile 1. Okay. Scrying Mirror, Projection. And the Wheel of Fortune, Fate. Yes, you're kind of in the hands of fate right now. That is very much how it feels and how it can feel under the influence of the Ace of Spades. Sometimes we're high, sometimes we're low. Sometimes things are going well, sometimes things are going not so well. Sometimes things are difficult and busy, and sometimes they're relaxing and easy. And you are just in one of those difficult, busy times, either now, recent past, or you will be shortly. And I want you to remember, when you're going through these things, pile 3, it's only temporary, because the wheel will always turn again and it will always take us somewhere else. And I was saying this in one of the other piles. I forget which it was, if it was 1 or 2, but sometimes we are up top and sometimes we're down low. Sometimes we are on top of the world and at other times we are really at rock bottom. And it's almost like pile 2 was a top of the world energy and pile 3 could be a rock bottom energy for some people. So there is a very interesting disparity and difference in energies between the piles, between the groups today. And that's not to say that you don't have messages in both, because 2 things can be true at once. And I want to talk about duality and about how 2 things can be true at once, even if they appear to be opposing or very different. There's been a lot of number 2 energy come out in this reading so far, which is about polarities, disparities, duality, and about understanding our differences and how we can find balance within ourselves and within our communities and the wider world, within humanity, by understanding where the truth lies, and it's usually somewhere in the middle. So Aura, with Aura and Scrying Mirror, I kind of want to say that I think I've got some Scorpios in this group, or some people with strong Scorpio energy in their chart, because I'm very drawn to the magical arts. I want to say to the occult, which I very much enjoy. An occult meaning hidden. It doesn't mean anything bad. It's just hidden knowledge. And there's no need for it to be hidden, to be perfectly honest with you. If I ruled the world, children would be learning about how to use their psychic ability in school. So there is a nudge here for you to work on your psychic abilities if you don't already. Perhaps that's already a passion of yours. Maybe that's something that you do. Maybe you do it professionally. You know, maybe you're very, very good at it. But there is a highlight here. Maybe there's a new skill to learn or something to expand into that you haven't really done before, or you haven't focused on before. Maybe you're a medium and you're learning trance mediumship, you know. Maybe you're a psychic and you're learning scrying, for example. I have a new scrying mirror. It's a black crystal one. I have an obsidian mirror, and I haven't actually used it yet. It's very powerful and I absolutely love it, but I haven't really found the moment to sit down and use it properly. So maybe that's a message for me there as well, but a message for you guys out there. If you've had the nudge to do it and you haven't done it yet, this could be the moment. Sort of over the next 3 to 6 months, I feel there is an opportunity for learning more about your higher abilities, your psychic abilities, your mediumistic abilities, your senses, your higher senses, as I like to call them. So, yeah, I feel like you're moving into a sacred time. I'm kind of very drawn to the sort of egg shape of the aura around this person, almost like you are growing in a cosmic egg. You are this, almost like this baby bird waiting to be born. There is a sense of waiting to be born again here as well, and I just heard something very strange in my ear as I said that. That was really weird. There's some very high spiritual energy in here. I'm just gonna spray some Cosmic Dragon just to balance the energies here, because I realise with this group we've got some very powerful energies coming in and I don't want that to be disruptive. I'm just going to use some Keep Out spray as well. This is one of Jenny Powell's sprays. This hasn't got a proper label on it, but very good, just to get rid of any energies that shouldn't be here, that are trying to walk in. You will know if you've ever done any kind of mediumistic work that sometimes you get walk-ins. spirits that are not invited, not welcome, but they come into your space and they can really mess with your energy, and nobody wants that. Okay, they can drain your energy as well. I've experienced that. It is not fun. So perhaps there's a message here about protection. We do have the protection card. Protect your aura, protect your energy when you are doing your spiritual work. That's very, very important. Yeah, that's an important message for some people, to protect yourself on all levels, not just in the, in the everyday life, in your everyday life, from people who would scam you, people who would steal from you, people who want to get one up on you, or who wish you harm, or who just genuinely negligently will cause you harm. But also to remember to protect your energy, to shield your energy from other people and from other entities, which could cause problems to you. You may have some energy attachments as well, looking at the aura card here. You may need to have some energy clearing done, perhaps, if that's something that you feel is relevant to you. That is something you can potentially do for yourself. There are many different ways of clearing attachments to the energy. You can call in Archangel Michael to help you with that, for example. Yeah, I do actually have a guided meditation with Archangel Michael over on my other channel, Angel Wings Holistics, which I'm going to link for you here, just in case that resonates, and that's a free resource that you can use. It's actually a tie cutting exercise, but it should help to remove energy attachments as well. So if that resonates, please do use that. Okay, so yeah, there's some weird dark energies around for some of you as well in pile 3. So I want you to be very careful of your energy. Make sure you're shielding your energy. Make sure you're covering your back in many different ways as well. It might be in the workplace you need to cover your back. Maybe it's with family, people who would stab you in the back, either intentionally or negligently. As I said, people who have no care for your well-being. I do want you to look out for yourselves and make sure you are taking care of yourselves, please. Okay, so we're going to move on to a little bit of numerology now. We're going to look at some numbers. What do we have? Okay. We have 2 4s. We have 2 2s. That's the third time we've had 22. We've had 2 2s in all of the readings so far. I'm going to put 40 there. I'm going to put 3 here. And I'm going to put 12 here. That's some very interesting numbers, guys. Okay, so the 4s are telling me that you've kind of had a bit of a hard time of it. 4 energy is not easy. However, off the back of 4 energy, we can be very successful. So I want to say you could have been going through, or you may still be going through, a difficult period in your life. However, I feel it will be a springboard which will take you onto bigger and better things. So I don't want you to think this is forever. Change is available to you. Positive change is available to you, is what I want to say. Yeah, it may feel like you're very stuck in the here and now right now, even though a lot of you are very intuitive, very psychic, very gifted. Maybe you've been really bogged down in the here and now, having to deal with 3D stuff, real world stuff, and not having the opportunity, the energy, the inclination to, to meditate or to work with your abilities as perhaps you would like to, or explore that side of things if that's something you've never looked into before. But I feel you will have the opportunity to do that over the next 2 to 3 months. That's coming in for you. We also have number 22 here. So we've got 2 2s. So the feet of the goddess, very sacred energy. There's a strong connection to the mother goddess here for you. Some of you may identify as pagans, witches, you may call yourself those things. You may practice some of those different beliefs there, ancient Celtic beliefs coming through potentially. Some of you may have roots in the British Isles. I do. Surprise, surprise. So, yeah, but there's extra knowledge coming through. So you may be finding inspiration coming through and knowledge coming through about your chosen spiritual practice or the things that you're interested in. They kind of coming through by osmosis at the moment. So even if you haven't been working with it, I feel like the messages are coming through anyway from your higher self. Your higher self is still educating you, still helping you to grow in that respect, to learn about your own spirituality and your own spiritual gifts, which is very beautiful. And that is actually going to help you, to set you in very good stead moving forwards. with number 12 here, 12 being the number of perfect governance. It is about governance. It is also about control. It can be a very repressive number when we're in the negative aspect of it. So maybe you've been incarcerated. Maybe somebody close to you has been in trouble with the police. Maybe you have felt the oppressive boot of government or of some sort of greater power within your country, which has caused you problems. That could be one of your struggles. Maybe you've been deported from a country. Maybe, it could be any number of things. Maybe you've had to leave or flee a country to go somewhere else so that you can be safe. Definitely challenging energy in this group, Part 3. Goodness me. But regardless, I see you being able to bring it all back into balance with those 2s in the middle, being able to find solid ground for yourself, find stability for yourself, and to move more into the higher aspects of yourself. You may also be somebody who already uses your psychic abilities in everyday life. So I do that, as you might imagine. When I work in an office or in a workplace, sometimes I'll do it just to practice, or sometimes I'll do it just because I need to know. Like, if my boss is in a bad mood, for example, this has happened to me before. My team leader was in a really bad mood, not talking to anyone, and I was really worried, thinking, oh no, are they cross with me? Now, I did have reason to think there might be a reason they could be cross with me. So I tuned into their energy, and I got a very clear no, it's nothing to do with you, and they told me what it was. So I was able to go over to my team leader and actually offer them some help and support with the issue that they were struggling with. So that was nice to be able to do that. But that's a powerful skill. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not violating that person's free will. My question to my guides was, am I in trouble? Are they upset with me? And the answer was no. No, it's nothing like that. I was like, oh, phew. Goodness me. I do worry. Right. Let's add all of these numbers up and see what we've got there as well. We have 67. Ooh, 67. That's a bit of a thing right now, isn't it? Which I find hilarious, being a numerologer, because I know 6 and 7, and 6 and 7 is that back and forth energy. So that kind of makes me laugh that that's come into kind of popular culture at the moment, with 6, 7. Are you all 6s and 7s? Part 3? You may well be, in which case I completely understand. All right, I have a friend who always says that. Oh, I'm all 6s and 7s. Like, I'm all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing. Lovely. So 67, 13, 4. It's another 4, because of course it's another sodding 4, isn't it? Okay. The 13 of change and transformation. The blueprint leading the individual, perhaps feeling a little bit out of control. And at 67, we have the mystic leading the heart. So we might be going in directions and we're not even sure why we feel that's what we have to do. Some of the difficulties you may be encountering may be because you've made decisions that you don't even understand why you made them, but you are being led by higher aspects of self, by mystical aspects of self. So I don't want you to worry too much. It is all part of your path. You're still on track. You're still okay. Yeah. But you're not quite out of the woods yet, necessarily. So for some of you, certainly you're not out of the woods yet, but you are doing extremely well, and this will become a solid foundation. The new solid foundation will appear for you in divine timing, in due course, and it's not that far away. Because remember, divine magic is right here. Trust in miracles. Expect miracles to help. Whew. Wow, that was intense, part 3, I have to say. That was a big one. I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hype this video if you know how to do that. That would be lovely. It's a new feature on YouTube where you can use a hype button and tell YouTube that the video is worth watching, and they will add it to a little leaderboard, and I get this video seen by more people, which would be really helpful. So thank you so much if you're able to do that, or willing to do that. Remember, you can watch another pile. There could be messages for you in pile 1, 2, or 4. I don't know what's in pile 4 yet, so I can't comment on that one. But there's definitely some connections to 1 and 2 for some of you. Or you may feel inclined to watch all of them. Maybe you're just watching the video all the way through because it's fun, in which case I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I aim to entertain, and I hope I do that, as well as bringing through the messages from your guides and from our ancient fossil ancestors as well. So my diary is open for December, so if you want to book a reading or any sort of energy healing session or clearing, you can do so at angelwingsholistics.com, which is linked below. If you would like to buy some gorgeous organic aromatherapy stuff, we have the oils, we have beautiful skincare. You can also do that at Neal's Yard Remedies. I have my independent consultant link below, which I get commissioned for, so that would be wonderful if you would like to do that. Okay. Whew. Seriously, Pile 3, you're going through it, or you have been going through it. I respect that. I've been there. I'm right there with you in the trenches, and we will be here to support you. So I hope to see you again soon. Until then, please take very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 4, and welcome to your fossil reading. You chose the adorable little bivalve shell here. On the card, it says it might be a mollusk. Now, this is a very interesting fossil to me because we used to find these in the garden where I lived, where I grew up in Weymouth. Very often when my mother was gardening, she would find little fossils like this one, usually smaller than examples than this one, but they were quite common in that area. Weymouth being on the Jurassic coast, of course. You might have even heard of Weymouth because they did host the Olympic sailing, I think, last time around, but Weymouth being Weymouth didn't organise anything particularly well because they're rubbish and they are absolutely a backwater of a town. And so the organisers very arrogantly told people from the surrounding area of Dorset and Hampshire and Devon not to come down. They were like, no, it'll be far too busy with all the international crowd and it'll just be too busy, so don't come. And guess what? Nobody went. And it was like a frickin' ghost town. Typical Weymouth. Anyway, so there could be a sailing connection for some of you there. So I actually rather like these. I'm very fond of this type of fossil. I think they're very cute, very close to my heart. The first type of fossil that I was kind of introduced to as a child and introduced to actually finding them as well, which is very exciting. So your card is the Jack of Hearts, which is a really, really lovely energy. So you could be a younger person or you could just be somebody who is young at heart. It's a very creative and sensitive energy. You're probably someone who's an empath, lots of compassion, lots of empathy for other people. You have a very big heart with this card being here. Also, I noticed we had the Queen of Hearts for pile 1. Now, very often the Queen of Hearts and the Jack of Hearts, when they come out together, they're a couple. So it could be that there are messages for you in this pile, or you could also have messages in pile 1, or the messages in pile 1 may be for your actual romantic partner. So that could be an interesting synchronicity for some people. Just a little snippet there. So it's a very intuitive card, very emotional card as well. It's a sign of great emotional sensitivity and high intuition as well. So you're somebody who is very intuitive, very kind, who probably feels things very, very deeply, which is why I called you an empath. So I think this is my empath group here. And I keep having to pause the video to clear my throat, which I didn't have to do for the other 3 piles. So I'm feeling there could be a blockage on the throat chakra. So I'm going to bring in this piece of turquoise here for you to help with that. Yeah, let's see if we can clear that blockage, because the throat chakra is an interesting chakra. It can become blocked, which is it's very noticeable when it's blocked, because we tend to get physical ailments around the throat, which are very noticeable, like sore throat, cough, you know, laryngitis, tonsillitis, etc. So it may be that you're not speaking up at the moment, or if you are speaking up, you're not being listened to, or if you're being listened to, you're not being heard, or you're not feeling heard in some capacity. So that could be a theme for the reading here for you. Of course, this is a group reading, so only take the messages that resonate for you. I'm pulling on lots of threads of energy here, so this is for lots of people, not just one. So not every message is necessarily going to make sense to you. All right, so we have the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle cards to work with to start with, because our little bivalve here is is a sea creature. So we're working with more sea creatures. Mystical sea creatures. Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got for you, my pile fours. Break free. I want to break free. Yeah. Interesting. Where are we going with this? Mother healing. Ah. Okay. Yeah. That really. Yeah. That really sets the tone here. Have faith. Hello, Bedford. I don't know if you heard that. Plaintive wow outside my door. Up until now, he was sleeping downstairs in his soft bed like a little furry cherub, and he has woken up, and I had a feeling he was going to want to participate in this reading, so I may need to let him in. Yes, Bedford, I know you're my soulmate. Let me just let him in. So, Bedford is in the house, so anything could happen. You want me to open the curtain? Here we go. You can sit on the windowsill and imagine that there are other things out there. He sits on the windowsill and gets very angry because he thinks he can see other creatures or birds or cats. Very often there's absolutely nothing there, but he doesn't know that. You enjoying yourself, Bedford? Yeah, should we have a little look round at Bedford? There he is. Betty! Hi! Everyone says you're very handsome. He says, well, they're right, obviously. There he is. All right, so you are blessed with the Bedford presents. Congratulations. Okay. I have to put timestamps in for when Betty shows up because some people literally only here for him. So I'm realistic. I know I play second fiddle to my cat. Right. And Divine Magic. That's the third time that's come out, I think. I think it's the third time, if not fourth. I don't know. This card's been out a lot today, Divine Magic. So that's very, very interesting to see. Wow. What have we got going on here then, pile 4? This is very interesting. So I do want to talk about breaking away from negative patterns and negative thought patterns and negative relationship patterns in your life as well. So this could be a challenge that you're going through now or something that's been going on for a long time in your life. There's certainly this need to heal on some level, to heal your heart and emotions, or to further heal them, because of course we are we're only human, and we can only heal one bit at a time, and it's kind of like peeling an onion, doing this kind of healing, especially if we have trauma from our past, from our childhood, which I would suggest could be a theme in this group for some people. That may resonate for you. Childhood trauma, particularly connected to the mother somehow. Doesn't necessarily mean it was your mother's fault. You know, she might have died when you were a child. You might have been orphaned. That's not her fault. But doesn't mean that you weren't wounded. Doesn't mean that it didn't hurt you. Okay. So, this is a challenging energy, and I'm feeling a little bit out of breath, not just from standing up to let the cat in. Must you scratch yourself up there? Are you coming in? Are you coming to say hello to everyone? Or are you going off? He's leaving. Bye. You close the door after you then, Bedford. Good boy. Bedford is done with us all, so there we go. All right. So mother healing. Yes, that's a very strong theme coming up. So it could be any number of things, but healing connected to the relationship with your mother, or perhaps with your own children as well here. Mother, grandmother, healing coming in here is a very, very strong theme, is something very necessary. That could be something you've already been working on. You know, you could be already a work in progress and very aware of a mother wound, which many people do carry. And it's not about blaming people for that, but it is a very real thing that many people struggle with. And that is being highlighted right now. So it could be, this is an important theme right now. Maybe your mother's unwell. Maybe she's recently passed away, or, you know, maybe you just feel like it's time to heal from certain aspects of the relationship. And I'm aware that I'm recording this on Thanksgiving in the USA, so which can be a very stressful day, particularly if you have a strained relationship with your mother or mother-in-law, perhaps. So there could be, that relationship could be highlighted there for you as well. And I just want to remind you with the soulmate relationship that difficult people like that in our lives, difficult relationships like that, actually serve us extremely well on a karmic level, because they allow us to learn very important lessons through very, very challenging experiences. And we don't necessarily like that. And I don't necessarily think it's very fair or kind, but that does seem to be how it happens. So even a difficult relationship with your mother still serves a purpose. And I want you to know that it's never pointless. It still serves a purpose on a soul level. You are still learning and growing from it. And I want to applaud you. And I want to reassure you as well, if you have had a difficult time with your mother, mother-in-law, stepmother, grandmother, I want to reassure you that it wasn't for nothing, even if it was very difficult and painful, and it's difficult to see what was the point in that. You know, why didn't I get the loving mother that I deserved? And of course you deserved better if you didn't get that. Of course you did. Of course you're worthy. But I want you to know that even if it feels meaningless sometimes, on a soul level it wasn't. On a soul level it wasn't, and you did extremely well. And you got through it, and you survived. And maybe you're picking up the pieces from that relationship now, and that's incredibly hard. And there's a lot of support here from you, from your guides, from your angels for that. A lot of support. And it's interesting because the bivalve fossil itself, when I saw the name bivalve, it just made me think of the valves of the heart. So it's taking me to very heart-centered energy. And I mean, the shape of it is almost shaped a bit like a heart as well. A physical heart, not how we draw a heart, which is based on buttocks, but let's not go there. It's kind of almost heart-shaped in a way, isn't it? It reminds me of the heart itself. So there's certainly the heart chakra being highlighted here, I believe, the energy center of love and compassion. And I feel you are somebody with a lot of love to give and a lot of compassion. And perhaps your mother wasn't. And I want to acknowledge that that was not fair. Or maybe she wasn't there to be able to give that to you. And again, that's not fair. You deserved better if that was the case. There is some beautiful energy here, though, indicating that you can break free from certain patterns now, or certain difficult experiences that may have been holding you back. Perhaps you've been struggling. Perhaps you've been working your way through it, and now you're reaching a point where it affects you less. Maybe you're non-contact with your mother, mother-in-law, stepmother, grandmother. And maybe it's getting a bit easier now. Maybe you're finding better ways to deal, better ways to cope. Or even if you are in contact, maybe the relationship is becoming a little bit less strained because of the work that you've done. And that's all down to you. And I want all praise to go to you. It's not because of her. This is you. You've done everything here. Okay. And it also brings into focus your romantic relationships as well. So if you're seeking a romantic partner, I feel there could be a new person stepping in here for you with soulmate relationship. This is a beautiful card to see. Very, very positive when it comes to romantic relationships. It actually says new romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. So that is wonderful. There could be a new person in your life or a new person coming in, which I feel is very much wanted and desired. And will be very reassuring presence in your life, very loving, gentle presence in your life. I mean, it may not be romantic, it could be platonic, but it will feel like a soulmate. You will know that this person's a soulmate. They will feel very familiar to you, and they will bring you a lot of love. And with the Have Faith card, I want to say that your prayers have been heard. And this one actually says, your prayers are manifesting, remain positive and follow your guidance. Yes, your prayers have been heard, your cries have been heard, your pleas have been heard. Okay, we don't always get to have the outcome exactly as we want it to be, but we do always get a response from heaven. We never get a no. We always get some sort of answer. It's never, I'm not just ignoring you, not interested. There will always be improvements in what we've asked for. So your prayers have been heard and they are being answered. That's what I want to say. Your prayers are being answered. And if you've been doing any manifesting work in that respect as well, that is all coming to pass. It's all coming to the fore in the best way that it can. Okay, because we can't control other people and what they choose to do, of course. We can only control ourselves. So when we ask heaven for help, sometimes the help will be to help us to be calmer and stronger in certain situations, because sometimes other people are not ready to change on a soul level. Okay, and sometimes we are the one that has to lead by example. And if you need any help or guidance with the law of attraction, you can, of course, get a copy of my book, Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works. That is not me on the beach. I'd like it to be. Looks very nice, tropical. You can get this from Amazon in paperback or Kindle. Or if you would rather download a PDF copy, that's available on my website, enjoyingsolistics.com. There and there only. Yeah. But Divine Magic is a very positive card to show up. Basically, Divine Magic adds potency to any of the other cards around it. And it, in the guidebook that originally came with this deck, it did actually say, take another card, because it adds potency to the next card. So we're going to do that. We're going to take another card. Make a wish. Oh, wow. So Divine Magic is here, make a wish. So any wish that you make at this moment will be amplified. The power of it will be amplified. It will manifest faster, better than you could ever have imagined. And this is wonderful. I mean, that could already be the case for you. You may already be in that energy and be aware of that. But that's very special. And I think we had this combo show up for pile number 1. So that's a very magical combination of cards to have from this deck. Very divine, very potent. And really nice to see, because I feel like you deserve it. It's almost like it's time for you to get your reward from all the crap you've been through in your life, whatever it may be. It's like you fought your way through all these difficult times, and now it's your time. Now you get to have what you want. Now you get to experience the joy, the ease, the happiness that you've been waiting for all of this time without the struggle. It's a time of struggle being removed from your life, I feel, over the next 6 months, 6 to 8 months. Some of the difficulty and struggle will certainly be removed from your life. So congratulations, pile 4. I'm very proud of you. I'm very pleased for you. This is really beautiful energy to come through. Woo! Okay, so let's move on to our next oracle deck, which is Divination of the Ancients. And what could be more ancient than a fossil? So we're really, really talking to the ancient ancestors here with our messages. They're so ancient, they're not even human. Dreams, incubation. Interesting. Wow, look at these Egyptian figures here. And clouds, we had that in pile 3 as well. That's interesting synchronicity there. Very interesting. Wow. I want to say with dreams and clouds, you may not be able to see it yet, but it's coming. You may not be able to perceive what is coming for you, the good that is coming for you, the blessings that are coming for you, but you will be able to see them soon. You will be able to see them soon. It may be a time of feeling blinded to certain things, or feeling as though your vision is obscured, that you can't see exactly what's going on around you. You may feel that some people are being dishonest, perhaps, or maybe you've had dreams about certain people, warning dreams. Always pay attention to warning dreams. If somebody does something in a dream that is untrustworthy, particularly if you have strong feelings if you wake up feeling sick or unhappy, you know, like sick to the pit of your stomach, like, oh, I can't believe that person did that. That was horrible. Pay attention to that. That could well be a warning about that person. I've had warning dreams myself. And I always say, it's not only what happens in the dream, it is very much the emotion that you feel throughout the dream and how you feel when you wake up. Because if in the dream you are very, very upset and distraught, then pay attention to that emotion. It's trying to tell you something. Okay. Or if in the dream somebody betrays you and does something horrible and you're very, very upset about that in the dream, and you wake up and, you know, you're still a bit shaken, pay attention to that emotion. It is telling you something. That is information from your subconscious. That is information from your higher self coming through. Okay. Beware of that person or what that person represents. Okay. Because warning dreams are a real thing. Yeah. Dream interpretation is something I've been doing for a very long time. It was something I was very interested in very young. I've probably been doing it since I was like 13, trying to. I got better at it as time went on. And very often we are the best person to interpret our own dreams, because certain things have meaning to us, which is very personal, very individual. So it's not always enough to just look in a like an encyclopedia of dreams. Oh, this means this and that means that. Because I had one of those books when I was younger, because obviously I was very interested in dreams. I don't think I have one anymore. No, I just don't bother to use them because they're not really relevant. But I had one of those books when I was younger, and I was really annoyed. It was a specific system of dream interpretation, and I find that doesn't work very well. You want to do a personalised version of dream interpretation because it's coming through the filter of you, your mind, your subconscious. So it's not going to mean the same thing as it would do to some man from the 30s. You know what I mean? Or to Sigmund Freud, who was actually on coke most of the time, but let's not go there. That's a fact. That's a fact. You can look it up. So with dream interpretation, for example, the book I had when I was a teenager, the symbol of the cat, I mean, to me, that's a very positive sign. I love cats. I absolutely love when they show up in my dreams. They're always like, I'm always wanting to cuddle them. My whole life, I've been the person that would go, take a detour to pet the cat that I saw down a road, which made me very annoying, I'm sure, as a child. But, as a cat, I have to go stroke it, I'm still that person. Given half a chance, I will go stroke the cat. I'm not going to say no. But in this dream interpretation book, it said that a cat was actually a really negative symbol. And I was like, no, it isn't. That's ridiculous. And then as time went on, as I got older, I learned that actually dream interpretation is best done on a personal level. It's best done based on how you feel about the symbol. That the symbol doesn't necessarily have one universal meaning. It's what it means to you. That's very, very important. What does it represent to you? What does that person or animal or thing or situation represent to you? That's absolutely vital when doing dream interpretation. So I want you to pay attention to your dreams. There could be a connection to pile 1 because we've got an Ammonite here. Was the Ammonite pile 1? Hang on. No, the Ammonite was pile 2. My mistake. Could be a connection to the Ammonite symbolism from pile 2 here. But I did say pile 1, so there could be connections to pile 1 as well for some of you. See what you're drawn to. It's a very personal experience. And we kind of got the Vesica Pisces showing up a little bit in the middle here with the 2 intersecting circles. It's not quite perfect, but I can kind of make it out here. So it represents the birth canal. So you could be having a child, expecting a child, hoping to get pregnant. You could be hoping to birth a new plan, birth something new. Maybe you've struggled with fertility. And again, that can go back to mother wounding for sure. There's often a connection there. Look how she has her hand on her belly here. Yeah, I want to give you the symbolic, the symbolism of birth, even if it's not a literal birth. That's a strong theme right now for many people. We have these pharaohs here in the background. So there's a connection there potentially to ancient Egypt for some of you, past life in ancient Egypt. You may feel drawn to Egypt for that reason, or you may have been on holiday, been to Egypt, as Northerners say. We've been to Egypt. I'm going to Egypt. No, I haven't been. I'd like to. I will go one day for sure. But that which you can't see in the everyday right now is coming to you in dreams. That which you cannot perceive, the information is coming to you in other ways. I feel like the universe is trying to make sure that you get information that you need, even if it comes to you through unexpected ways, unexpected means. I feel there is deception around you, someone trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but I also feel that the universe is moving things around so that you are one step ahead of them regardless. Either somebody accidentally let something slip so you find out something you didn't know or weren't supposed to know, or it'll be coming through dreams or through psychic visions perhaps. So yeah, look out for the messages because there's a lot coming through for you guys at the moment, which is very important. So interesting time. All right, let's do some numerology. I have my dice, my crazy dice. Let's have a look at the numbers. What have we got for pile 4? 15, 1, 10, 6, 34. Of course there are 4s. 4, 44, and 15. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the 4s are showing up, to be honest, because 4 is such a challenging energy. We've had quite a few 4s showing up so far. But I'm also hopeful for you. There's a lot of possibility for change here. So a lot of possibility for change with 1 and 10. I'm liking that. So 10 reduces to 1, so it's nice to have them come out together. So end of a cycle, beginning of a new one. But end of a cycle, when you start a cycle and it's not your first rodeo, you go into the next cycle with wisdom. So at 10, we go into the next cycle with wisdom. Yes, there's unlimited potential, just like there was at 0, but we've got this 1 with us. We've already done 1 cycle. We're not beginners anymore. This isn't your first rodeo, par 4. Okay, this is not your first rodeo. You've been there before. No matter how old or young you are, you have a lot of experience. You have a lot of life experience, I feel. You probably have been hurt many times before, or hurt very badly at some point in the past. I feel possibly in a romantic relationship, or possibly by a friend or somebody that you loved or trusted, because the heart is showing up here on number 6. So then we have number 30. 30 reduces to 3, the divine blueprint. And at 30, when we're in the energy of the 30s, it brings in this whole new... So we've got 2 10s here. So when we get to a 10, we're all you know, a 10, 20, 30, 40. We are always beginning a new cycle. And your cycle here has the potential for you to create from soul, for you to create from your heart, for you to decide how you want things to go, to put yourself first. And that could be a message. Maybe you need to put yourself first a little bit more. Okay. You have the ability to change things in your life moving forwards. You are able, or you will be able, if not already, to design your life as you wish it to be, because you have the knowledge and experience to do that. You will not be taken for a ride again. I feel that quite strongly. That's not to say no one will ever manage to do that, but right now it feels like you're stepping into a very empowered state, into a very empowered position, empowered time, empowering time in your life, where you can create your visions and turn them into solid reality. And that doesn't happen very often. You know, that's not something that you necessarily get to do very frequently in life, but it does feel like a potent time connected to mother healing, because we've got the divine magic and make-a-wish card here. So ask the universe for what you want, the outcome that you want. What is it that you would like? How would you like your life to look? And focus on that and make it happen, because I believe you can, par 4. I really believe you can. We've got 2 4s here. I mean, we're a 4 energy anyway because we're in par 4. So it is all about the real world, the 3D, the here and now, what we would call solid. It is about what's going on in your actual physical life. That seems very important right now. Although the mind will try and lead you astray. Yeah, the mind may try to lead you astray, so it may be time to read The Power of Now, or to revisit that book if you haven't read it before. I have my copy here. Where's my copy? I absolutely love this book. I read it in 2006. And it was actually really, really difficult to read. Not because it's a difficult read, because it's not. It's an easy book to read, but your ego mind doesn't want you to read it. It's like your ego mind desperately tries to stop you from reading it the whole time, because it knows that it's done for if you get a handle on the concepts in that book. It knows it will not be in charge anymore. So it will try and distract you from reading it. And it's really funny, because I was reading voraciously at that time in 2006. I read all kinds of books. I was reading a book a day. In like 1 or 2 days I was getting through tomes of books. I was reading the Conversations with God books by Neal Donald Walsh, which I absolutely love. That could be a recommendation for some people out there. If you want more ideas of books, follow me on Goodreads. I am actually on there. I'll send you the link if you want it. You can message me through my website. Yeah, The Power of Now. I would start to read it and then suddenly I go, oh, I think I need the toilet. Then go back to reading it. You know what? I really want a snack. Go back to reading a couple of pages. Yeah, I think I want a drink now. And it was really funny to me, because I was observing my mind desperately trying to distract me from reading this book. And it was pretty funny. My ego mind, my lower mind, the computer that is not supposed to be in charge. It's supposed to be a tool. You are supposed to be in charge of your mind, the computer mind, the ego mind. But most of us, it runs the show because we don't know any better not to let it do that. And this book is very, very powerful to get a handle on that. So, yeah, don't allow your mind, your ego mind, and the fear that it will try and instill in you to hold you back from greater things, because you are destined for much bigger and greater things. You are a very, very important soul on earth right now, powerful. You are very much needed here, and you are helping to bring great change and healing to the world. I think this is my group of healers in here. I think many of you are natural healers. Maybe you've studied Reiki or energy healing, angelic healing. You know, maybe you're a doctor, a nurse, for example, a midwife. But regardless, whether your training is formal or not, you are a healer, and you are here to help and heal others. And I want to say to you, healer, heal thyself. Make it all about you first, please. Do something nice for yourself. Do something loving for yourself. Let's just add all of these numbers up and see where we get to with that. I have my calculator here because I just can't be bothered right now. Okay. And we have 70 on the nose, so another 10. It's another 10, it's 70. So we've got 10, 30 and 70. Interesting. So absolutely big changes coming into your life. You could be having a fresh start in, I want to say, in 3 areas of your life, because we've got 3 10s there. So on a personal level, maybe on a greater life's plan level, and also on a spiritual level, with 70 coming in, 7 being the number of the mystic. A huge potential in all 3 parts of your life. Yeah, all of those parts of your life. So on a very individual level, and that could be about your lifestyle on 30 as well, and that can be about your future plans, how you want your life to be, your changing career, for example, and at 70 as well, your spirituality and how you choose to pursue that, and how you choose to weave that into your life, or how you choose to practice. So there's a lot going on for you, powerfuls. I'm very pleased for you. You've done extremely well. There will be rewards for your hard work, I promise. So if you feel drawn to watch another reading, another pile or another reading from this channel, please do. Please do remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm shocked the number of people who watch these videos who are not subscribed. Come on, hit that button. It's not hard. And press the bell and put all notifications on so you don't miss another video. You can also hype this video if you enjoyed it. That would be very helpful to me. It's a new feature on YouTube that tells the algorithm that my video is worth sharing with other people. Yes, also my diary is open for December, so you can book your reading at angelwingsholistics.com, reading or healing, energy healing session. And you can also, you may have already heard that I am a Neal's Yard Remedies independent consultant, and you can find all of those gorgeous organic aromatherapy products on my independent consultant shop, which is also linked below. So, my powerfuls, you've been through it, but you're doing great. Okay, and I hope to see you again soon. And until then, I want you to take very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.